Hey everybody. Um, it's been a while since I've made a video and I purposely kind of went off the map for a little while. And I've been wanting to recently make another video for a different reason. Um, I Up until last Thursday, I have felt better than I have felt in 6 years. Um, so many good things were happening. I was able to drive Aiden to school and drop him off at school for the first time ever. He started school in July, and I've never been able to do that on my own, and that was really special. Um, I was able to cook meals and actually enjoy cooking meals. I did a bunch of meal prepping and all of this stuff. I had forgotten how much I loved cooking. Um, in the last several years, it's been such a chore for me and very exhausting to do that. Um, I have been able to walk further than I've ever been able to walk in the past 6 years. I just so many wonderful things. I had a friend who needed some help. She was in the hospital, and I was actually able to go help her. I was actually able to go and visit with her and take her things that she needed, and it made me feel so good. And Thursday morning, I had kind of felt this little tickle in my neck, and I just felt all of my wellness escaping. That's what it felt like to me. It just felt like all of my wellness was just being drained from my body, and I just started feeling this pulling in my neck, and I just lost it. I completely lost my shit. I I I can't even describe to you what that feels like to I mean, I had been sick for so long that I'd forgotten what well feels like. I mean, I had this baseline of what, was continuing to slowly diminish, but that baseline was my well. And so I had completely forgotten what feeling totally well feels like. And to just watch it and feel it being taken away from me so abruptly like that um is just I just don't know how to describe it to you. So I'm back in bed. This is not the video I wanted to make. There were lots of things I really, really, really wanted to say, and maybe I can still say them now, but it's just the context is just slightly different. Um, Getting right into it, I have already spoken to my doctors. They got back to me actually on a Saturday, which was wonderful. And I'm debating whether or not to go to the ER versus waiting to be scheduled for my appointment. I seem fine right now, and what happens to me is like today right now I can actually get up and walk to the toilet. I can do that okay. I can feel that stuff is happening and I'm feeling a pulling and my it's hard for me to hold my arms up. But I only get so many of those throughout the day. It slowly diminishes to the point of I'm at the end of the day, if I sit up at all, I have trouble speaking, I have trouble walking. I can't get to the bathroom. I can't walk. Um and you guys don't see me like that because I can't post a video like that. I mean, I guess Ian could um sort of document that, but it's not pretty. Um and so I'm just kind of weighing my options right now of what I should do. I don't know yet how long it'll be before I can get fixed again. My time frame at the most from today that I'll be able to be a normal person is probably 10 weeks. So at this point, I was really looking forward to taking my son trick or treating. I won't be able to do that, most likely. Um, at this point, Thanksgiving is probably going to be, I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to make a Thanksgiving dinner. I love doing that, especially now that I was well. I was really looking forward to it. It was such a chore last year. I was sick. I mean, just looking back at last year, I forced myself to go. I was like, I want to go trick or treating with my son, and we were going with friends that I love, and it was I was just having a really hard time even back then. So this is really, and another reason why I had sort of stopped making videos and was really just trying to, it was really kind of being a little bit of a hermit in a way. Before my last procedure, I had some really, really bad thoughts. And I'm a firm believer of doing a lot of research on the internet, regardless of what doctors say. Like, don't Google it, don't do it, don't do it. I actually found the answer to my 6 years of illness by doing my own research and reading medical journals and reading online. So I think that's really important. I also believe that it's important to find a support group. And the problem, though, is that the people on the support groups are probably people who are still struggling, which is great if you are also struggling and you need support. But I came across a person, a man, on this support group who had been posting. And several years back, his wife had committed suicide because of a spinal fluid leak that was not able to be fixed. And she was just constantly living this life of going in for procedures, not being fixed, and just constantly in pain and suffering. And she decided that she couldn't take it anymore. And so her husband was continuing to post, and I don't really want to go into all that. I felt it was strange. And it also just really, it hit home for me, and it freaked me out so bad that I was really struggling mentally with a lot of stuff that I don't really want to go into. Maybe someday I'll talk about it because I think it's important to talk about. But that's where I was. And I don't want to be in that place again. I am afraid each time I go back for another procedure that they are going to screw it up, that I'm going to screw it up. For those of you who don't know what the procedure is, I won't go into all the gory details, but basically, to fix my leak, they take blood from my arm and they inject it into my back, into my epidural space. And there's always risk involved in that. And the risk is that if they put too much blood in, it could cause hypotension, and it could cause terrible, terrible headaches. It could cause nerve damage. There's all of these things that it could cause. And if they don't put in enough, it won't fix my problem. And I'll have to do it again, which is more risk. And part of that job is their job. I'm asleep when they position the needles, which is wonderful. I love that. But then they have to wake me up to inject the blood into my back. And it's not painful, but thinking about it, I had just been under sedation, and they're waking me up, asking me to make these really, really important decisions. Like, how do you feel? Like, do you feel this in your back? Like, what do you feel? Do you feel pressure? Do you feel pain? And I have to answer. And each time when I'm in the moment, I make the right decisions. But thinking about that is just really scary. What if I make a mistake? What if I say the wrong thing? What if I'm not awake enough? I don't know. So I try not to think about it, but it's lingering in the back of my mind, you know? And I'm trying not to think about all the time I'm losing because this has been going on since May. And since that time, I've had 4 full weeks. So nearly a month, right? Nearly a month of feeling good. But in that month of feeling good, I still had very, very many restrictions of not being able to lift. I mean, I only picked up Aiden for the first time last week. And although I can hug him and I do help get him to bed, in bed, like we read stories and he falls asleep with me in bed, there's just nothing like picking up your child. I mean, he wrapped his arms around me and it was the most special moment. I'm thinking now that maybe I didn't wait long enough. We don't know that, and I'm really trying not to beat myself up over it, but my weight restriction was between 4 and 8 weeks of lifting less than 5 pounds. 5 pounds or less was my limit. And I was a few days shy of 6 weeks. I also lifted a heavy bag of ice upstairs. Just little things that you wouldn't really think about being terrible, but I did them. And so now I know that I have to take a full 8 to 10 weeks before I can lift anything. I mean, that includes a gallon of milk, I think weighs 8 pounds, I believe. That's a gallon of milk, right? So it's basically nothing. And oh my gosh. I just want you to know where I am. I'm here. We do have support from friends, and I'm very, very thankful for that. But also, like, my phone isn't blowing up. Like, you may think like, oh, she's got plenty of family and friends. Like, oh, I would just be intruding by calling or texting. You're not intruding by calling or texting, right? I could go for a full day without talking to anybody besides Ian and my son. I mean, we do have friends that come by and that help us, but I appreciate, even if you are feeling guilty for not calling or you don't know what to say, or you think it's been so long, and just a little text to say, hey, hey, I'm thinking of you. Like, if you're feeling like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I know over the past 6 years, I have been at times a terrible, terrible friend because I have been sick and I haven't been able to communicate that effectively. Everybody has stuff going on in their lives, and it's so hard to reach out to someone when you've got stuff going on. Everybody has it. And I would love to hear from you. I also like being alone a lot, but I would love to hear from you. And I may not always respond right away, but just know that I really, really, really appreciate it. I appreciate you reaching out. I don't really know what I'm trying to say. I mean, I do, but I don't really know how to say it. Um, anyway, I'm here, I'm home, and we actually do need help right now. Um, because I'm home and it's the beginning of the school year, Ian is working a lot in the afternoons when Aiden goes to school from like 8:30 in the morning until 3 to 4 in the afternoon. Um, we really need some help, like physical bodies helping. Um, so if you're around and you can, we would love to see you. Even if it's like, can you play with Aiden for 20 minutes while Ian gets dinner ready? Or could you help put the dishes in the dishwasher while Ian gets Aiden ready for bed? Or like little things like that. Like, oh, do you think you could, um, you know, warm up some almond milk for Aiden for his, sippy cup? Um, Little things like that could be really, really helpful. Um, I'm going to go now because my voice is starting to go. And I'm actually a little too elevated right now, so I can feel that I'm starting to fade. Um, so anyway, this is kind of a long update and I hope it made sense. I'm a little out of it. Um, this is a super duper mind fuck. I That's the only way I can put it. Sorry to be crude, but that's what it is. And I just really appreciate you all watching this, and I will hopefully have an update for you soon. And I'll probably make another video when I get a clearer picture of when my next procedure is and what that looks like. So have a good day. It actually looks very beautiful outside. The light's changing. I can see it's starting to become autumn and it's beautiful out. So for all you who can go outside, please do enjoy the day and we'll talk soon. Bye.